The Masonic Order has an imprint on the Church of God and Saints of Christ, beginning with Prophet William Saunders Crowdy, its reestablisher. We'll talk with Brother Eugene Dudley, who has decades in Masonry and in the Shriners, and has been a teacher in the Church of God and Saints of Christ for just as long. Actually, he's been a district Sabbath school superintendent since 1993. So thank you, Brother Dudley, for meeting with me so we can contribute on this Black History Month program by talking about the influence of Masonry in the Church of God and Saints of Christ.
Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for thinking of me to think that I can come up to the task of meeting your expectations.
Yes. Well, can you maybe start with the organizational structure that the prophet brought?
Well, as I had indicated, the prophet's Masonic footprints. The prophet said that he brought the best of Masonry as perceived by him into this to our organization. And the thing was, or our congregation, as opposed to the organization. And the thing was, he viewed, or he wanted order and decorum. In the Masonic Lodge, order is maintained, by the worshipful master. And if the worshipful master is not there, then the second in charge is the senior warden, who assists him in opening and closing the lodge. And if he is absent, then it is the junior warden.
So let's see how this connects to what the prophet did.
Now, when he left members in charge, he left the elder, and when he did it, the structure was the elder was first, the deacon was second, and the Sabbath school superintendent was third. If the elder wasn't there, the deacon was in charge. If the deacon and the elder wasn't there, it was the Sabbath school superintendent that was in charge.
Now, what about the all-seeing eye? Because I used to see that in our actual tabernacles, and it's on the cover of some of our books.
Well, the thing is, in Masonry, they have the all-seeing eye, and it represented the fact that you may lie to yourself, you can lie to your friends, your neighbors, or whoever. But the thing is, with that all-seeing, you cannot lie or hide from the Most High God.
Yes, and there's also a part that has an influence on the daughter's quorum, right?
Yeah, well, with the daughters, see, when the prophet, the first department that he set up was the daughters. Now, in Masonry, you have female Masons, which the name is referred to as the Order of the Eastern Stars.
Yeah.
Now, the Eastern Stars, it's a five-pointed, a five-pointed star, and on each point is where each of those daughters sat, and they got up there, and the various, they have various names of biblical characters in there. I can't remember the names, but the thing is, the prophet knew that they had like standing type of programs and projects that they were supposed to carry out over the year under the auspices of the worthy matron. Now the thing is, they also had the, they also had a man there, to number one, to serve as a protectorate, and number two, to somehow keep some type of semblance of order. So when the prophet set up the Daughters of Jerusalem, Sisters of Mercy, he used 7 women, and the man that was also was placed there with the same pretty much the same duties.
Okay.
To again keep some semblance of order and as a protectorate. And instead of him being called the worthy patron, he was called the Father Abraham.
Yeah. Now there's a whole lot more that we can't fully cover, but I know there's history beyond the prophet's time with Masonry and the Church of God and Saints of Christ, including with our leaders. I know Bishop A.C. Plummer, right? He was well respected in Masonry, isn't he?
When I thought about it, how the prophet really kicked off this
succession.
Not so much. Well, you could say the succession, but the order of Masonry, the structure, the structure. He could have just identified one individual, but what he did was he got and established 3 at the same time. Mm-hmm. 3 under the using the chief as worshipful master, the William Henry Plummer as the senior warden, and Calvin F. Skinner as the junior warden. That structure was right there. Now, see, that was how he inputted. That's how he developed it. And the counselor got up there, and who was the junior warden, who was in charge after the worshipful master and the senior warden, passed. He got up there and identified or placed his hands on H.Z. Plummer now to be the next leader. Now, he was H.Z. Plummer was a man's man in the Mason. He was the worshipful, the Grand Master in Virginia. They offer in the consistory, which is the Scottish Rite side of Masonry, where you get your 32nd degree. He receives your 33rd degree is the zenith, so to speak. You have the honorary, and then you have the actual. Okay. He got both of them. Mm-hmm. He got both of them. That's how like how tough he was. Now, this is way off course though. This what I'm not. If you look at, you heard the prophet say that I got down just in time to save Israel from 70 years of bondage. If you get up there and you add 70 to 1894, you're going to come up with 1964. And that was the Great Civil Rights Act, where they prevented people from being discriminated, blacks from being discriminated in this thing. So the words of a prophet does not come back void.
We got to do some more, conversations, Brother Dudley, and just beyond this wonderful talk about Masonry and the Church of God and Saints of Christ. I just think there's a whole lot to uncover for generations to come. Okay, so I'll turn it back over for the other parts of the Black History Month program for the Western District. And, I have the full version of this interview available. And thanks again, Brother Dudley.
Thank you again for you like encouraging me and trusting me, because I generally am all over the place.